Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Candace, and this is Flosstube number 6. Thank you everyone for coming back. If this is your first time here, this is a channel 95% about cross stitch, and sometimes at the end of my videos I will throw in a wee bit of knitting or maybe even some sewing at the end. I'll usually warn you in the video description if there's any added. This week, there is not. It's just cross stitch. I had a really busy week this week. You would think being furloughed I would have all this time, but my kids and I went to my mother-in-law's on Friday, and we came back yesterday on Wednesday. So there was a lot going on, and I did not get as much stitching done as I would have liked, but we had a great time. We have not seen my mother-in-law since mid-March, and we needed to see her. The kids needed to see her. She needed to see us, just to kind of, give hugs and chat and all that stuff. So, and once again, welcome to my son's room. The sun is coming out, so I don't know what that's going to do for the whole reflection in my glasses thing, but I apologize in advance. It's been raining all day, and I couldn't get motivated, and I finally sat down. I just didn't have time yesterday to do a video. Normally I do my videos on Wednesday, and then they appear sometime Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening, depending on how long it takes for it to upload. But today I was really struggling with my motivation, and I happened to be on Facebook, and I had found someone in, I believe it was MAYnia group, had asked if there were any Indiana stitchers. So I just quick threw on there about the city I'm in Northwest Indiana, and I found out there is a Facebook group for Northwest Indiana, and it's called NWI for Northwest Indiana. Needle Nerds. Needlework Nerds. Hold on. I just joined today, so I want to make sure I get the name right. Let's see. Yeah, Northwest Indiana. It's NWI Needle Nerds. And you can find them on Facebook. Beth is the admin for that, and her and I were actually chatting after I had lunch through Messenger, and it's crazy that she's only 15-20 minutes away. And there are meetups twice a month once people feel safe meeting up again. So that was really cool because I don't know any other stitchers in real life besides my mom. And I didn't even know she was a stitcher until I got quilts for my kids. And she had done embroidery on it, but apparently she also does cross stitch. So it's really nice to know that there are people in my area, and I may actually be able to meet some fellow stitchers and stitch together and chat and learn a ton of stuff, because obviously I still consider myself a new stitcher. I've only been stitching since November. So that was exciting today, because now a whole new world has opened up with stitchy people in my area. So yeah, it's been a long week. So let's just jump into whips, and then I can kind of go through by day what kept me from stitching. So I did my video last Wednesday, and then I worked on Welcome to Summer. And I know I said something to you guys about possibly changing this chart because I'm not as in love with it as I was when I first purchased it. My stitching tastes have started to evolve and show themselves in different ways. And there's a lot of stuff I bought when I first started stitching that I was like, oh, this is cute, I want to stitch it. And now that I've seen so many other things, my tastes are kind of changing a little bit. So this is Welcome to Summer from Cherry Hill Stitchery. And I believe I let everyone know in the last video, but I considered doing the flip-flops, just the word summer, and then the other row of flip-flops. So it'll just be a little mini thing that just says summer with flip-flops on the top and bottom. I actually don't know if I got any more of this stitched than when I showed it last time, or if I had stitched it after I did my video. That's all I have. 2 little sets of flip-flops. That's all I've got. But that's my plan for actually the 4 that I have like this, the 4 seasons, is I'm going to do, you know, the band at the top that shows what, that kind of represents that season, then the season, and then the other band. And then I'm probably going to just finish them flat and put them up above my, we have a chalkboard calendar that you can use chalk pens on. And I think I might just hang it above that for each season. So that's where I got to that on Wednesday. And this week, my whole plan was to stick with the whole stitching during the day and then knitting at night. Well, I know I've talked about Mini Dark Goddess before. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it looks like this. I love this. I love it. So I have this one, and then I have a companion piece to it, which is Mini Goddess of Passion, and that one's in reds. So I decided that I really wanted to stitch on it, and why not? I mean, it's my stitching. If I want to change my mind on my plan, I can do that. So this is where I was on Wednesday night before I started. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I still have no idea how to edit, to insert pictures or anything like that. So one of these days I'll figure it out. So I've been stitching on this every night because I can't put it down. So I get done with stitching, you know, my MAYnia start for the day, and then I pick this up. So I stitched on it every single night this week, starting on Wednesday. So Wednesday I did 590 stitches that night. And then Thursday 370. I won't go through all the numbers, but I did a lot of stitching on this, and I have just over 3,000 stitches on it now. Let's see if I can. I am so in love with this. I do not want to put it down. Like, this is what I want to get up and stitch every day, is this one. I just love it. And I wish I could get it a little closer, but I have the tablet on a chair today, and I can't really get closer. So I will probably continue to stitch this at night, unless I have like a night where I want to knit. I'm just really, really feeling this right now. So this is a 25 count Easy Grid Lugana. Obviously it's a Heaven and Earth design, so it's, oh, my little fox fell over. So it's all the called for DMC. And I believe I have all of my DMC now. Oh, you know what? I just showed that to you sideways. He was right side up. No, wait. Yeah, that's how it goes. Oh my gosh, I'm such a ding dong. My little fox was not upside down. So this is Mini Dark Goddess. I just love it. I just want to keep stitching it. So once MAYnia is done, I'll definitely, I think for June I may do 200 stitches a day on that one. Like, that'll be my goal, to do 200 stitches a day. And then hopefully I can still get my knitting out and do it. So then Thursday, I worked on Lucky Tree from the Trilogy. And this one's cute. I really liked stitching this one. I'm using DMC. I'm not using the over-dyed threads for it. Although, because there are some little spaces that, like, a couple of my stitches may have gotten a little tight, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but it actually almost looks like I used over-dyed floss on the pot. So I don't have too much left to do on this. This one will probably get a finish in June. And then, of course, I worked on Mini Dark Goddess at night. Friday is when we left to go to my mother-in-law's. So I had just one or two things to do before we left town. And then they live just north of Toledo, Ohio, just inside Michigan. So it takes us about 3 hours to get there. So we drove over there, and then the little bit of stitching I got done during the daylight hours was on Spooky String. It's really cute. I really like this one. All the strings are really cute. They're very cutesy, and I'm totally fine with that. They're something that right outside this door, there's a little wall with a light on it before my other son's door. And I think that's where I want to hang these, is right in that area for the seasons. So that's how far I got. And I'm actually pretty thrilled with how far I got on this one. Although if you can see it, there's kind of a shadow from the top of the chair, but that bone blends a little bit on camera. I actually do like it on this fabric in real life, though. So that's as far as I got. I'm not unhappy with this progress at all. This is one of those that I can pick up in June, pick a day, and especially if it's before I go back to work, and I can finish this one. So it's nice to know that I can actually do one of these strings in a day or two, so that, I can plan on those being finishes in June. So on Saturday, let's see, what did we do on Saturday? Oh, my brother-in-law was over, and him and my sister-in-law were putting in air conditioners and finishing up the deck. I'm trying to think of what else we did. But I did get some stitching time. My kids were all over the place being crazy kids. And that's the nice thing, is they're old enough now we can just shoo them outside. So I'm going to take this out of the bag because I know there will be a wicked glare if I don't. So Saturday I worked on Winter Warmth from Little Dove Designs. And this one, actually, my mother-in-law bought me for Christmas last year. I think I mentioned that in my last video, but love it. And it's going to take a while, and I'm totally okay with it. There's so many little parts that I'm excited to get to. So I got a couple hours of stitching in, and this is on it's Aqua 14 count Ada that I'd gotten at Joann's by my mother-in-law's house in Toledo. There's 2 Joann's in Toledo, Ohio, and one is a larger one across from the mall, and the other one is a smaller one on the other side of town. So they didn't have any of this. I considered getting more of it, and they were out of this color. So sorry about that shadow from the chair. I'll remember not to use this chair next time I get relegated to the bedroom. So I got that part of the border done. And then I stitched on Mini Dark Goddess at night. I even took my knitting to my mother-in-law's, and I didn't do it. So, I feel bad for my knitting. I had some momentum going on that tasting menu shawl, and then kind of fizzled a little bit. So then on Sunday was Kitty String, another Lizzie Kate. And this one will go near my cat lessons for people that I showed in my very first Flosstube video. And all of these strings are on 28 count mushroom Lugana. It's one of my favorite fabrics. I love Lugana. Lugana and Jobelan, I think, are probably my favorites, even though I stitch on a lot of Monaco because I had a lot of it. That's it. It's as far as I got. I got an A. I got most of my cat whiskers, which is really nice because the cat is charted orange, and I have an orange tiger. So So I'll have to change the other cat though, because the other cat is white, and our cat has a lot of gray in her. So I'm gonna switch that. But cat, little bird. That's all I got done on Sunday. So Sunday we were outside almost all day. It was blazing hot. I hate hot. Like the unreasonably, and it's always humid up here. So the unreasonably hot, humid weather, I hate it. But I think it's one of my cats trying to get in. But my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law had gone to get plants for the garden and some flowers for the back deck. So when they got back, I set up the canopy so we had some shade, and it was like upper 80s and humid. We did have a breeze on Sunday, no breeze on Monday. But so my oldest, my 8-year-old, helped my sister-in-law plant the vegetables in the garden, and then she filled the pool for them, just like a blow-up pool. Filled that for them so they could play in the pool, and then her and I did the plants on the deck, and then a couple of tomato plants so that my mother-in-law can just walk out, grab a couple tomatoes, and then she can, have fresh tomatoes instead of walking out to the garden. So that was some work because it was hot. We were sweating. It was just ugh. So I didn't get a ton of stitching done, but I did get what did I get on Sunday? I did get just over 200 stitches on Mini Dark Goddess, so I'm not going to complain about that. But Monday I worked on, and we were still at my mother-in-law's. We stayed until Wednesday. I worked on the Trilogy Halloween tree. Spooky. I gotta find some buttons for this one. I looked when I was in Joann's in Toledo, and I didn't see anything little enough in those colors. So I'll have to do some peeking around on Etsy and see if I can find some fun little buttons for this one. But I did get the border done. The ghost is not filled in yet. He'll be ecru. I'm using DMC 28 count Monaco. But yeah, I had the bat almost all the way done, and I was off a stitch. So I had to rip him out and do him again. But it's okay. He was an easy bat to do. So I like this one. I can't wait to hang this one up at Halloween. I just think it's adorable. And then during the evening, I worked on Mini Dark Goddess. So Tuesday, my uncle passed away during, pretty much he passed away in March, and it was right after they had said no visitors in the rehab/nursing home facilities. So my sister and I are the only blood family left, and we have mostly my sister has been doing a lot of the work for his estate. So she is, I don't even know what they call it in Michigan, but basically the executor of his estate. So I signed off on that, but we're still doing all of the grunt work, basically 50-50. So Tuesday I met her up there at his place. He had a condo in a 55 and older complex in South Lyon, Michigan. And so we met up there and we were going through stuff, and my husband and I had already gone and taken a few things that we wanted to keep, and then my sister and her husband had some stuff that they wanted to keep. And then it was a lot of going through things. He was completely blind when he passed away, but he hadn't been... there's a really big spider over there on the floor. Give me just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Had to get that taken care of. I thought it was like strings from, one of the kids' shirts or something. and then it moved. Anyway, now it'll probably rain some more today. But, so my sister and I, excuse me, we met there. I got there just before noon, started going through some stuff, and then she got there with her husband, and there are 6 kids. And we worked on his place for quite a few hours. So there was a lot of heavy lifting involved, and it was very hot, and there was no breeze. So it was another day of sweating and working harder than I wanted to. So then as I'm driving back to my mother-in-law's, it starts raining. And I heard some thunder as I was driving, and I was like, whatever. It's about maybe a little less than an hour drive from my uncle's condo to my mother-in-law's. So I get a text, and I checked it when I got to the gas station, and my sister-in-law said they didn't have any power. It's like, all right, well, it was a quick storm, it's no big deal. And they live out in the country. They have like 4 houses or 5 houses in their entire mile. So, no power. I can't take a shower because without power, there's no water because, well, water pump doesn't work without electricity. So finally, my sister-in-law figures out dinner. We had tacos. She did the taco meat on the grill in an old skillet. We eat dinner, and we realize we're going to have to do something because the power's still not on. And it was about time for the kids to go to bed. So her and I went out and got the generator and got things hooked up, and just necessities, the fridge, the freezer downstairs, the sump pump, the air conditioner in the living room, and then the fan in the bedroom for the boys, because the room was still cool. My sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and I slept in the living room, or tried to sleep in the living room, until the power came back on so that we could unhook stuff from the generator and plug it back into the walls. 4:30 in the morning is when the power finally came back on. So anyway, this is all I got done in the little bit of daylight I had with no power on Tuesday's Doggy string from Lizzie Kate. It's sad, guys. It's sad. It's an A. I got an A done. That's it. Because it was starting to get a little bit dark, and I was exhausted, and I wanted a shower, and there was nothing I could do because we didn't have any power. So I got an A done. This is the first MAYnia start that I really didn't even want to start because I just didn't feel like stitching it. But I got some stitches in it. So Doggy string is going to need a little bit of attention. That's for sure. I did, because we still didn't have power, and you can only play on your phone so much before you get sick of whatever you've got on your phone, and you don't really feel like looking at Facebook or and I didn't want to use all of that trying to watch like Flosstubes, because even though I could charge my phone, we could hook it up to one of the outlets that the generator was on. I was just hot and tired and feeling gross, and so I did get some stitching done on Mini Dark Goddess, and my sister-in-law has some headlamps. Like, we have one here that we use when we run in the dark. If it's early or dark, early or late, and it gets dark while we're running. Just headlamps, and you can adjust them. They have 2 different, like bright and then a little more dim, and then you can adjust it down and up. So I stitched some of the Mini Dark Goddess on Tuesday by headlamp. So yesterday, I woke up late. We needed to leave my mother-in-law's so that I could get back here and get the stuff from the kids' school. And I woke up late. So it was like a mad rush to try and get out of there and get back here, because I only had until 2 o'clock to pick their stuff up from school. We did make it. Yay. But where did it go? I didn't bring it in here. I thought I did. All right. Well, hold please. Apparently I'm not very prepared today. So yesterday, after all of that, I finally get a shower. I get lots of stuff taken care of that I brought back from my uncle's house. My clothes, the kids' clothes. And I just sat. I just sat for a while. I didn't stitch. I didn't do anything. My husband came home and made burgers for dinner. And I was having a really rough day yesterday. My dad passed away 6.5 years ago. And my oldest keeps asking about wanting to learn how to golf. My dad taught me how to golf. And in my mind, I was so mad because my dad died and can't teach my son how to golf. Granted, my husband and I both golf, so we could teach him, but I just had that vision of my dad and his patient self teaching my kid how to golf. So I was kind of having a rough day yesterday. And yesterday was autumn. So it's this one right here. The other 3 I'll do later. But this was my MAYnia start for yesterday. And all I got done on it was the tee. I just started right dead center. And I really like the tee. So that's what made me start right there. Usually I start on the left and then go across. But nope. Just wanted a tee. I thought it looked fun. So, and then I did work on Mini Dark Goddess last night for a little bit. And then, my cat's meowing outside the door. And then I read for a little bit. He's meowing at me. So anyway, on to today. Today's a better day. Blow dried my hair today, put some makeup on today. Thank you, Beth, for motivating me to get this video done. So today is Welcome to Winter. Ooh, it's a floppy chart. There we go. By Cherry Hill Stitchery. You can find these charts. I don't know if you can find all 4 of them, but you can at least find a couple of them on her Etsy shop. And then you could always message her to see if she can get the other ones for you. But so this one I'm just doing the snowflakes, and then winter, and then the snowflakes. So before lunch, I started the snowflakes. And then I'm just doing this in the DMC. I believe this one was all DMC. Yeah, this one didn't have any hand-dyed flosses in it. So basically I just need 2 colors. Just wait for the snowflakes, and $5.97 for winter. So this one should be quick. I'm going to work on this one after the video too. Probably finish up the 2 snowflakes and maybe get winter done before I have to make dinner. Because the mosquitoes they're trying to carry my dogs away at this point. The dogs come in the house and I have to run my hands down them to get the mosquitoes off so they stay outside. I'm pretty allergic to mosquitoes. My son is my youngest, very allergic to mosquitoes. He has had cellulitis twice because of mosquito bites, like blistered. And so I wanted to get to the garden center today and get some mosquito plants, the citronella plants, and put them by the sliding door and on the deck. They work really good at my mother-in-law's house. So I wanted to get some for my house so I can hopefully keep the mosquitoes from getting inside. But I can't even send my kids outside today. The mosquitoes are so bad. I would rather them sit and play video games all day than come in with mosquito bites, and then we have to make a trip to urgent care because my youngest is having a reaction to them. So it's annoying. Hate mosquitoes. Passion. So that's what I've done up until today. Obviously I'm still in need of that haircut. It's really long. And I'm trying not to trim my bangs until I get the call from him saying, hey, we can get you in. Because I would like my hair to look halfway decent by the time I go back to work. So welcome to Winters today. And then tomorrow, yeah. I keep thinking today's Wednesday and it's Thursday. So tomorrow, the 29th, is the drawn thread, almost Halloween. And this one I am using the Threadworks, the 2 colors of Threadworks that it calls for. My fabric's in the way. I can't see it, what the colors were. Oh, Pottery and Spanish Olives, because it doesn't have the colors on it. So this is Spanish Olives, and this one is Pottery. So I am using those 2 and then DMC for the rest. And then this one will be on just 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. So I'm pretty excited about that one tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain tomorrow or not. So we'll see how much I get done on that one. Because if it's nice and sunny, I can get to the garden center and get those citronella plants for the deck. So we can hopefully stop the mosquitoes from coming in. And then Saturday is Lizzie Kate's Winter Small. So just this guy right here. And then these other 3 I will do at a later time. So we'll see. My husband has been making awesome progress in the basement. So Saturday might be a lot of work in the basement and not as much stitching as I'd want to do. Oh, and we have someone coming to fix our washer on Friday morning. So I don't know, tomorrow morning. I don't know how much stitching I'll get done tomorrow morning. But he's supposed to be here between 8 and 12. Because our washer decided that it doesn't want to spin anymore. And it's only 4.5 years old. And then on the final day of MAYnia, Sunday, May 31st. Welcome to Autumn, Cherry Hill Stitchery. This one, I'm going to do the same as I said for the other ones. I'm going to do all these leaves at the top. Actually, I think there's leaves, corn, and an acorn. So I'm going to do those. I'm going to do autumn, and then I'm going to do the other row right underneath of it. And I have no idea where my fabric went for this one. I'm not sure why it's not in this bag. But it's probably also going to be, I'll have to look in my book. It's probably also going to be tea-dyed Monaco. So, that's the plan for the rest of MAYnia. And then starting June, Monday, June 1st, I'm going to take a lot of these smaller ones that I could easily get a finish on in a day or 2, and I'm going to work on those. I am also going to catch up on my stitch-alongs, so I am behind on Bloomtopia. I'm only 1 behind, so on the 1st, I'll have the one from the 15th and the one from the 1st to do. So I got Bloomtopia. Feels Like Home. I've only done the bird because the house that's on Feels Like Home was big and I didn't start it when I could have. But I saw some people changing the house color, like leaving the windows the same, leaving the trim the same, but changing the actual house color. And I loved it. So I may do something like that because I'm doing Feels Like Home in DMC. So I may do that. I might change the house color. So I want to get caught up on that one. And then I have Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Animal Almanac. I have not started on May's Animal, so on the 1st I'll have May and June to do. Linen and Thread Stitch Along. I was almost done with May because that released a day early. so I was able to get some stitching done on it the last day of April. So I only have a little bit left to finish May, so then I'll be pretty close to being caught up on that to do June's, whatever June happens to be. It's a mystery, so who knows. And then I also had one more. Oh no, that's it. That's all 4 of them. Bloomtopia, Feels Like Home, Linen and Threads, and Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So I do want to get caught up on those. And then I think I have a feeling I'm probably going to do 200 stitches a day on this. Because I'm really enjoying it. And it may be just like mini citrine when because I worked on that one and I did 200 stitches a day and then I kind of gave it a break so that I wouldn't get sick of it. So I might do the same with this. So then when Jolly July comes along, I've been having thoughts about working exclusively on Kringles for Jolly July instead of doing 25 holiday inspired, like Christmas inspired ornament type things instead of doing that, because I don't mind having all these whips, but I really do want to finish some stuff, even though I'm not motivated to fully finish them yet. I would really like to get some of these finished, but I don't know. We'll have to see when I get closer to July what I really feel like. But I think it's not a bad idea to do, I mean, I'll be back to work too, so that'll probably slow my stitching down a little bit. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe Jolly July will be just Crinkles July for me. Doesn't really sound that good, though. That's okay. So, I think that's all I have. Obviously, I didn't do any knitting, so I did get supplies for more masks for my husband. I got some of those. I needed elastic, but I got some of the little toggles that you'd put on like 2 strings or 2 pieces of elastic, and then he can adjust it himself. You just squeeze and pull, and when you let go, it holds it tight. So I got some of those, and hopefully that'll be a little bit better for him instead of the hair ties. So I can get some masks made for him because he's coming home every night and boiling water, and he can't throw his in the washer because it has wooden beads that help tighten the elastic. So he doesn't want to throw it in the water. Plus our washer's broken. So he just boils hot water and then a little bit of Dawn dish soap and washes it by hand. So, but yeah, I guess that's all for this week. Thank you guys to those of you who have subscribed to my channel and liked my videos. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I'm pretty consistent about checking a couple times a day to see if there are any more comments. I don't like to leave people hanging if they have a question, even if it's just something simple like, hey, what fabric was that? I will do my best to get all these projects down in the description box, and I don't think there's really a whole lot aside from whips this week. I didn't really talk about a whole lot else. I'm a little behind on my Flosstube, so I got some work to do. But I hope everybody has a great week and a good weekend. Hopefully you have good weather and you can get outside if you like to get outside. But anyway, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have a great week, guys. Bye.